What you're seeing today is complete destruction, not just a victory. Your adversaries who opposed you are vanishing like flies, one by one, unable to continue to oppose you. Since the truth is now indisputable, they have reached their breaking point and just give up. They just cannot beat you, regardless of the strategies they have used or the coalitions they have forged. Not only is the fight going your way, it's over altogether. The weight of your overwhelming force has caused the once dominant resistance to disintegrate. They failed, they tried, and they're done. Your overwhelming dominance is more than just impressive. Examine your surroundings at this precise cosmic moment. The adversaries who formerly defended you are now eroding like old buildings and giving way to the passage of time. They believed they were in control, so they plotted, slandered, and threw everything against you, including every weapon, every word, and every evil intent. Now, watch the amazing fall. One by one, they are collapsing, worn out and shattered, their influence vanishing like mist in the morning sun, their power gone. They are now the ones fleeing, hiding, and collapsing under their own deceit, as the war they initiated has turned against them with the fury of a cosmic tsunami. You remain motionless and watch as they break apart in front of your eyes as the cosmos itself rebels against them. The very fabric of reality rejects the poisonous energy they have been putting into creation. Once roaring so loudly, these paper tigers are now reduced to whimpers and whispers. They clustered like vultures around what they thought was your impending demand. Eyes, how pitiful they look now, spreading everywhere, frantically trying to find cover from the storm of consequences that darkens their horizon. The oppressors are now crushed by the weight of their own hatred. The hunters are now hunted, and the predators are now prey. Remember those arrogant grins, those assured pronouncements of your impending doom, the flippant dismissal of your tenacity. Look at their faces now. Fear takes the place of pride, uncertainty takes the place of certainty, and desperation takes the place of assurance. They hardly recognize themselves in the mirror, since the change is so total and comprehensive. Their demise is not gradual. Rather, it is catastrophic, akin to witnessing skyscrapers collapse, their devastation following the flawless physics of karmic return, with each floor of deceit collapsing onto the one beneath it, gaining momentum with each level until what started as a tiny foundational crack turns into a total structural failure. They are shell-shocked by the explosion, which has caused every attempt to sabotage you to backfire with such amazing intensity. Like a boomerang of truth, every lie they disseminated has come full circle, hitting them with accuracy and leaving them with permanent wounds. Each attempt at character assassination has merely enhanced your reputation while irreparably damaging theirs. They work so hard to create intricate systems of your demise and lay traps for you, only to fall into them themselves. They are crushed by the cosmic irony's flawless poetic justice. The fires they started spread to devour their own havens, the cages they constructed turned into prisons, and the pits they dug became their graves. Nobody trusts them anymore, therefore their manipulations are ineffective. Instead of witnessing your humiliation, the audience they gathered to watch it now witnesses theirs. The blazing sun of exposed deceit has caused their credibility to dissipate like morning dew. They are left frantically trying to find a way out, but every exit is barred by the very things they put in your way. Nothing is left of their once powerful arsenal. Only rust and dust and the sour aftertaste of wasted potential. The weapons they forged against you lie broken at their feet. The armies they rallied have abandoned them, and the resources they gathered have been exhausted in their fruitless campaign. You are here for a reason. If you feel the call, answer it. Click Join to unlock exclusive content, deep insights, and a powerful community. This isn't just a membership, it's an awakening. Step into your divine purpose. Join the chosen. Take a look at their highly developed attack strategies, which they were so proud of and which would ultimately defeat you. These identical systems are now sputtering and malfunctioning. Warning lights blinking, smoke leaking from overheated parts, and gears grinding against one another. They are harming themselves with the machines they developed to destroy you. Their attacks were supposed to be precise, surgical strikes at your weakest places, but they have proved wildly incorrect, hurting their own teammates and missing their objectives. As their coordination breaks down, commands are misunderstood, and communications malfunction, friendly fire occurrences increase. What started off as a well-planned attack turns into a series of disorganized, strategically inconsistent individual acts. Their psychological attacks on you, including gaslighting, subtly undermining, and persistently challenging your reality, have crumbled into blatant manipulation that no one can believe. They have revealed their playbook, published their methods, and made themselves obvious to even the most casual observer. What once required careful detection now announces itself with all the subtlety of a carnival barker. They made an even greater effort when they noticed that their strategies weren't working, and that you stayed unbroken in spite of their best efforts. They abandoned any semblance of principle in their feverish desire to destroy you, pushing the boundaries with ever more rash acts. Because they were frustrated, they decided to take off their carefully crafted masks and reveal their true selves to the public. The nasty reality of their character was exposed when the facade of virtue crumbled under strain. They gave up the image they had fought so hard to build in their desperate attempts to keep up the attack. Every attempt to suppress the truth only made it louder. Every attempt to skew reality only made its contours clearer. And every change in viewpoint only made their deceit more obvious. The more they tried to control the story, the more it slipped through their fingers like fine sand. Witness the frantic pace of their increasingly unhinged attacks, the last desperate gasps of a campaign breathing its final breaths. Hear the tremor in their voices as they attempt to maintain the illusion of control. See the widening of their eyes as they realize nothing is working. Feel the shift as their rage turns into pure, unadulterated panic. The desperation shows itself as irrational allegations that defy logic, outrageous statements that even their most ardent fans look at each other in confusion, and convoluted conspiracy theories that contradict their earlier stances when logical explanations fail them. They withdraw into the fantastical world, crafting complex mythologies in which they maintain their dominance and you stay exposed. Observe them. Throw everything at once. No more calculated risks, no more strategic patience, no more controlled responses. Just the heedless panic of people who can't accept their impending defeat. Reputations earned over decades are now staked on frantic last stands. Resources that should have lasted months are now expended in days, and allies that should have been kept are now sacrificed in pointless sorties. Once focused and disciplined, their internal discussions degenerate into finger-pointing and blame-shifting. Who didn't see this pushback coming? That was the one that underestimated our opponent. Who is to blame for this disaster? The questions reverberate throughout their ranks, sowing distrust where trust once thrived and dividing where unity once prevailed. They were expecting you to react, to lose it, to fight like them. But you never did. They were starved, because you refused to give them the emotional response they desired. The proof of your suffering they hungered for, and the validation of their existence they needed from your engagement. Your quiet in the face of their charges reverberated louder than any defense, and you showed a strength they couldn't understand by bearing the brunt of their attacks. More than any counterattack could ever do, your refusal to play their games destroyed their delusions of power. They were circling like vultures, waiting for you to fail so they could put pressure on you until you finally gave out. Rather, it was their own weight that caused them to collapse. They were exhausted from within by the energy needed to continue their destructive mission, leaving only the empty shells of who they once were. Your power lay in your ability to keep building while under fire, not only in your ability to repel their attacks. While they spent all of their energies to destroying you, you concentrated on creating. You fueled yourself by building, while they defined themselves by opposing you. And you defined yourself by your dedication to purpose. Their story was ruined by your constancy. They warned everyone that you would break, crumble, and give up. But every day, you remained steadfast, disproving their forecasts. Every day, you persisted, eroding their credibility. And every day, you stuck to your path, revealing their unfounded claims. Nobody was able to ignore the widening gap between what they said would happen and what actually happened. Their increasingly desperate actions contrast sharply with the dignity with which you carried yourself during their attack. You spoke calmly while they yelled. You moved precisely when they launched a frantic attack. And you kept the peace while they fell into anarchy. You are not here by accident. If you feel the pull, the knowing deep inside that you are chosen, this is your moment. Click the super thank you button and give $50 or more to unlock deeper insights, exclusive content, and a path that aligns with your divine purpose. This isn't just a contribution, it's a declaration, a step toward who you were meant to be. Answer the call, walk with us, and step fully into your destiny. Your journey begins now. The understanding that you are stronger today than when their campaign started is what destroys their spirits the most. The resistance that was supposed to destroy you has instead produced something invincible. Rather than weakening you, their opposition has been the forge that refined your might. Their morale is irreparably damaged by this realization that everything they did merely strengthened the same entity they were trying to weaken. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for whatever one sows, that will he also reap. Galatians 6:7. Let me tell you something today, my friends. God's justice is perfect, his timing is impeccable, and his balance is beyond human understanding. It's like a farmer scattering seed across his field. He may not see the harvest right away, but the soil does not forget. The earth takes in every seed, good or bad, and when the season changes, it brings forth exactly what was planted. Some plant kindness and reap favor. Others plant deception, malice, and pride. And oh, when the time of reaping comes, they are shocked at what grows up around them. They thought they could shape the world with their own hands. They thought they could twist the truth, manipulate the system, and walk away untouched. They whispered lies, set traps, and built fortresses of deceit, believing that the laws of the universe did not apply to them. But let me tell you, God sees all. Heaven's ledgers record every transaction with precision, and the scales of justice do not tip in their favor just because they demand it. And now, the very weight of their own wickedness is pressing down upon them. The accusations they hurled at you have turned into shackles around their own wrists. The deceptions they spun have become webs they cannot escape from. The same system they used to bring others down is now the instrument of their downfall. The sword they sharpened is now at their own throat, and the pit they dug is now their resting place. Oh, they thought they were untouchable. They laughed as they schemed, believing their power would last forever. But they forgot one simple truth. The universe does not forget, and neither does God. Every cruel word, every underhanded move, every dishonest scheme, it was all recorded. And now the bill has come due. See, they imagine themselves standing behind fortified walls, throwing stones from above, convinced that nothing could reach them. But God's justice is like a storm. It does not ask permission to enter. It moves with precision, sweeping away everything that stands in defiance of His divine order. Every stone they threw has returned with frightening accuracy, striking not just their bodies, but their very souls. And now, my friends, they are weary, they are tired, they have fought and clawed and deceived, only to find themselves standing alone in the ruins of their own making. The same energy they used to dim your light has left them in utter darkness. The passion they poured into destroying you has become the very fire that consumes their influence. The ground beneath them trembles, as if the very earth itself is rejecting their wickedness. It is not you who needed to fight them. It never was. The forces of nature, the laws of creation, the hands of the Almighty Himself have set things in motion. You did not need to lift a finger, because their own actions have judged them. They see it now. Oh, they feel it now. Their plans are unraveling. Their confidence has turned to confusion. And what began as a campaign of righteousness in their own eyes has ended in the tragic realization that they were the very thing they claimed to be fighting against. This is not just coincidence, my friends. This is correction. This is not misfortune. This is recompense. This is not persecution. This is prophecy fulfilled. And as they fade into irrelevance, as their voices lose power, as their influence dries up like a stream in the desert, know this: the universe did not take sides. It simply returned what was given. So stand firm, chosen ones. Stand tall. Do not fear their noise. Do not be troubled by their schemes, for they are already undone. The tables have turned. The story has been rewritten, and justice has been served in full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Hallelujah! Like cosmic theater, the stunning self-destruction unfolds. Each inconsistency between professed values and actual behavior exacerbates the foundation's cracks until the entire structure collapses. Those who demanded accountability run away from responsibility. Those who claimed moral superiority are caught in heinous hypocrisy, and those who demanded transparency are exposed for their secrecy. With each defection weakening the remaining structure, each abandonment lowering available resources, and each betrayal supplying fresh information to be used against them, their most devoted lieutenants start leaving the ship in increasing numbers as they realize the inevitable outcome. As crucial supports are taken out one by one, the collapse quickens with every hour that goes by. The greatest betrayal by those they trusted most occurs from within their own ranks, dealing them the fatal blow. Motivated by self-preservation, disillusionment, or the basic human desire to be on the winning side of history, the same people they relied on for support end up being the ones who plan their demise. Internal documents are leaked, private discussions are made public, and hidden schemes are exposed. They gathered people to witness your downfall, brought people together to witness your death, and put you at the center of a spectacle. But now, those same people are aware of the truth. The audience they controlled now turns against their former masters with the wrath of the betrayed. The witnesses they called now testify against them, and the viewers who came for amusement stay for justice. The allies who once stood shoulder to shoulder with them now keep their distance out of fear of being tainted by association. The defenders who once defended every action now remain silent, unable to create credible narratives around such blatant corruption, and their supporters have deserted them, disgusted by behavior that can no longer be ignored or excused. They exposed themselves because their lie was unsustainable. You didn't have to do it. Their facade of morality has exploded beneath the weight of its own contradiction, like a balloon bursting at the seams. Their painstakingly crafted illusions have been swept away by the inexorable force of the reality that they have so frantically attempted to bury. The very people they courted are now ignoring, mocking, and excluding them. The spotlight they desired now only shows the blank space where their credibility once stood. The acclaim they sought has changed into the rejection they deserved, and the attention they sought has changed into the disdain they feared. The relentless tide that washes them away is the public perception that they have worked so hard to shape. What started as private doubts explodes into public declarations of opposition. What started as individual queries evolves into communal demands for accountability, and what started as isolated criticism grows into universal censure. Former backers now assert that they were duped and never fully comprehended the real purpose. They distance themselves from the very cause they previously supported and exclaim, "Had we known then what we know now?" The storyline changes from "we were misled," which completes their seclusion and validates their defeat, to "we stood together." Once their preferred weapon, social media now serves as the scene of their ultimate humiliation. Every post that tries to retake the narrative is buried beneath a mountain of contradicting evidence. Every claim that tries to recast events is promptly fact-checked and refuted, and every plea for loyalty is met with screenshots of their prior betrayals. Their fall is now widely disseminated by the same outlets that boosted their rise. Not only did you escape this assault, but you flourished in circumstances that would have wiped out lesser creatures. The heat of their attacks has only served to burn away impurities, making you stronger, more refined, and more valuable than before, like precious metal in a forge. You are now untouchable, your root made plain by the illumination of your true power, your energy shielded by the impenetrable shield of purpose, and your vision cleared by the contrast between their darkness and your light. You move steadily down the high road as they scurry around in the debris of their failed campaigns. Every action they took just strengthened you. Every assault made you strengthen your defenses. Every lie made you make your truth more clear. And every challenge forced you to acquire new skills. Instead of destroying you, they sparked your transformation into something much more powerful than they could have ever dreamed. You are now ascending to a new degree of power that would have lain dormant in the absence of their resistance, while they drown in the mayhem they caused. Your potential energy has been converted into kinetic force. By the pressure they imposed, your spiritual muscles have been strengthened by the resistance they provided, and your capacity has been pushed beyond all prior bounds by the challenges they presented. Those who may have been duped by slander may now perceive the difference between what was said about you and what is proven to be true, since your reputation has been cleansed in the crucible of their attacks. Your integrity, which was called into question by their allegations, is proven to be unquestionable. Your goal, which was called into question by their propaganda, is proven to be undeniable, and your character, which has been put to the test in public, is proven to be sound. You gain advantages from the clarity that results from this struggle that your adversaries never expected. The contrast between constructive and destructive is now widely acknowledged. The limits between authentic and artificial are now well defined, and it is now simple to distinguish between truth and falsehood. Your vision for the future, which was previously hidden by the smoke of their attacks, now shines with blinding brilliance. The very opposition that was supposed to divert you from your path has instead compelled you to express it with previously unheard-of precision. This clarity fosters an atmosphere where your true qualities can be appropriately valued. The commotion that was meant to drown out your message has instead produced the silence where it can be heard clearly. The opposition that was meant to redirect your energy has instead focused it with laser intensity. There is nothing left for them to do. Every tactic has backfired so severely that no change can fix it. Every plan has failed with such dramatic finality that no revision can save it. And every scheme has crumbled so thoroughly that no reinforcement can maintain it. Their resources have been exhausted by excessive use. Their reputation has been damaged by constant publicity. Their relationships have been shattered by internal blame. And their motivation has been destroyed by a string of losses. They are unarmed and disassembled in front of you, incapable of putting up even minimal opposition. Nothing is left except burning embers, where once roared the inferno of their antagonism. They are totally burned out. The fire of their animosity has consumed its own fuel source. The force of their hatred has devoured its host, and the intensity of their campaign has drained its directors. Even those will soon cool to ash and be dispersed by time's winds. Now their only option is to leave feeling helpless, embarrassed, and defeated. Their defeat is not transitory, but permanent. Their retreat is not strategic, but required. And their surrender is not voluntary, but unavoidable. The white flag they hoist is not a ruse. Rather, it is the sincere recognition that a contest has been decided. Not because you say so, but because reality allows no other conclusion. Some of them try to rewrite history by saying they were never truly against you. Others try to negotiate terms as if they still had cards worth playing. Still others make public statements full of euphemisms that barely conceal their surrender. And still others quietly vanish into the night in the hopes that their absence will go unnoticed. However, the understanding that continuing is impossible is a characteristic shared by all types of surrender. What breaks them totally is the finality of their failure. This is extinction-level failure, the end of their campaign, their credibility, and their influence. It is not a setback from which they can bounce back, a temporary reversal that can be surmounted, or a calculated withdrawal to fight another day. Even the most obstinate of them change from resistance fighters to exiles when they realize this finality. No more accusations against you. No more predictions of your demise. No more propaganda undermining your message. Just the deafening silence of complete defeat. The absence of sound, where there was once constant noise, speaks volumes about the completeness of your victory. This quiet makes room for your voice to be heard clearly and unhindered. This victory is not a momentary gain, but a lasting reality. It is not a momentary advantage, but a permanent state. The elements that came together to ensure your win keep it going, establishing a new balance in which your success is the norm. Future generations will look back on this victory as the moment when everything changed, and its influence goes far beyond the actual fight. Philosophers will examine this triumph as proof of deeper principles at work behind seeming disorder, while historians will identify this time as the boundary between what was and what could be. With all barriers gone, all resistance neutralized, and all paths freed, you stand on the precipice of boundless possibilities. The attention that was previously needed for surviving can now be applied to thriving. The strength that was previously needed for resistance can now be funneled into expansion, and the energy that was previously needed for defense can now be focused toward creation. Your adversaries are vanishing like flies. They give up, realize they can't beat you, and give up. The entire stage is cleared for your next role as the cosmic play comes to a flawless conclusion.